All right, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to episode two. So, for those of you that are new to the channel, my name is Adi, and I've started a new series here on YouTube to document my journey with starting an SMMA. But I'm doing this entirely from scratch and as a complete beginner. So, the intention is to pretty much document my journey, but also to help anyone else out that's getting started with their agency. Of course, I'm not in a position to give a lot of advice, but I'm hoping someone's able to benefit from me uncovering everything with this business model and just learning as I go throughout the process. So, if you haven't seen episode one, we pretty much just covered all the basics regarding this business model. I set up all the foundations. So, if that's something of interest to you, definitely check that out. But in episode two here, we're going to be covering more of the client acquisition part. So, it's going to get a lot more heavier now. But I'm hoping as we go step by step, it won't be too difficult. But yeah, with that being said, I'm just going to hop straight into my laptop and we'll go from there. Awesome. So now that we're back into the laptop here, we can just review the Figma board and see pretty much where we're at in the process and what we covered last time as well. So just looking at all of these green boxes here, we can pretty much just see what we covered last episode. So under foundations planning, there were just a couple things that we went over. So we started by creating an agency name. Once again, we didn't spend too much time on that. We're just trying to move forward as fast as we can. And then we purchased the domain and email. That's pretty straightforward. And then we warmed up our emails. So then, if you actually go back into the last episode, I actually showed the complete process on how to warm up your email entirely for free. So that was done in the last episode. And then we went into niche selection. So for me, I did some research pretty much and compared a couple different niches and ended up deciding on the automotive detailing niche. So that's the one we finalized. And then in terms of the service, we decided to go through with Facebook ads. So once again, in the series, we're going to be learning the full process of how to run them, how to pretty much launch these successful campaigns and actually see some proper results. I don't have a lot of experience with it now, but once again, this is why I created the series. So we're just going to learn as we go throughout the process. And then we selected an offer. In the beginning, I'm working entirely for free, just trying to rack up some experience, and then from there we can look into the paid options. But yeah, that's pretty much everything that we covered last time under foundations planning. So in this episode, we're going to move over to client acquisition. All right, so client acquisition pretty much starts with the outreach plan. In this stage, we're figuring out how we're going to be reaching out to these businesses, what we're going to be saying, how we're going to be tracking it, what our strategy is pretty much. Anything related to um, reaching out to businesses is going to be covered in this stage. And if you guys haven't noticed, I did add another section here because I didn't add lead list before, but I'll get to that in just a second. So pretty much the outreach plan starts with figuring out the method of outreach. So are we going to be giving them a call? Are we going to be sending them emails? Are we going to be messaging them? How are we going to be contacting these business owners? And then we're going to be creating a lead list. Um, there's a strategy that I've been using with a certain tool to compile a full lead list entirely for free for the businesses that are within the niche you're trying to work in. So that's a pretty good strategy that I've been using, and I'll be sharing that here. And then we're going to create some scripts for outreach, and then we're going to be creating a tracker. And I did just want to let you guys know that I'll be creating a Google Drive folder with all of the resources that I'm using for my agency, in case there is anyone out there that it could potentially help if you're getting started with your agency, or even if you have an agency. These type of resources always can come in handy. So yeah, I'll be sharing them. I did just want to let you guys know that they are probably influenced by the resources that are available online from YouTubers, maybe guys like Max Pearson and Joel Kaplan, as I mentioned in the last episode. So yeah, I don't want you to think that I've created them entirely myself and I'm claiming that these are my copies. Of course, I've created a lot of the parts and I've compiled them into different formats, but I just want to make it clear that they are going to be influenced by resources that are available online. All right, so with that being said, we can get straight into the first part of this outreach plan. All right, so the first step within the outreach plan is to figure out the outreach method. So for me, I'm actually not just sticking to one option. I'm not just going to be doing cold calls, or I'm not just going to be sticking to cold emails. I'm doing more of a combined approach. And this is something I heard online, and I thought it was a pretty clever way of doing it. So pretty much what the strategy is to do Instagram DMs. So I'm just going to be messaging businesses within my niche via Instagram. And based on that, if I get a positive response, in a way that's pretty much warming up the lead. So then what I'm going to do, if I get a positive response, I'm going to give them an immediate call. So my strategy isn't really to um, to just kind of get that meeting through the messages, because I know it might just go down within their inbox, or they might not see it right away. But it's pretty cool because if I get a positive response on Instagram, then I can just give them a quick call and say, hey, this is Addy. We just talked on Instagram. They're going to be a lot more receptive compared to just calling them out of the blue and saying, hey, this is Addy. This is my pitch. They're just going to think it's a sales call. Whereas if I communicate with them via Instagram, then it's a lot more of a warm process. So anyways, that's my strategy. So I'm going to be messaging them via Instagram. And if I get a positive response, I'm going to be giving them a cold call. So that's the plan. And then in terms of frequency, I plan to do 20 to 30 cold DMs per day. I know a lot of YouTubers say that, hey, you should be doing a minimum of 100 cold DMs per day for your agency. Of course, I'm sure that's entirely true. But for me, once again, I'm working entirely for free. So I can't really take on, 10 clients or, talk to 10, 15 different business owners and have that process going on. What I really want to do is I just want to take on 2 to 3 businesses at maximum, and I just want to run their advertising entirely for free, and just manage that, because I don't want to take on more than I can actually manage, right? So I just want to become a master with 2 to 3 businesses, learn the whole advertising process, and then after that I can obviously get into that um, process of reaching out to hundreds of businesses a day. But as of right now, we're just going to keep it small. So we're going to be following a DM script, which I will be getting into once we get into the script category of the outreach plan. And we're also going to be tracking it, as I mentioned earlier, on the outreach tracker. That's also something we're going to get into. So yeah, that's all for the outreach method. Just so you guys know, this is the plan that we're going to be sticking to for my agency. All right, so now that we're back on the Figma board here, I'm just going to go ahead and mark the outreach method as green. So step 2 is to figure out the lead list. So we need a full list with all of the different businesses within our local area that are within our niche, right? So we need all of their, pretty much all of their information, such as emails, maybe some their Instagram profiles, websites, phone numbers, all of the important information. So we need a quick way to extract that, because I know a lot of people go on Google, just go on Google and say, hey, if I'm doing auto detailing, they'll go auto detailing within my area, and a lot of options come up on Google, but it's not in one place, pretty much. So we need that information to be one place, and we need all of the information extracted that's important. Otherwise, it would take a lot of time. Pretty much, it would take hours and hours on end. But there's this quick method that's entirely for free, that pretty much is able to extract all of the relevant data within, a couple minutes, maybe like 10 minutes. So yeah, I'm just going to be showing you guys the full process. So what you want to do is you want to come over to this website called Phantom Buster, and you just want to click Start Free Trial. So just go ahead and sign up for this 14-day free trial. You don't need to put in your credit card anywhere, which is like the best part. And once you sign up, you pretty much have 14 days to extract, all of the leads that you need. I don't think you'd need more than 14 days. So anyways, I'm just going to go ahead and create this free account, and then we can go from there. All right, so I've created my account. It literally took like 30 seconds, super easy. But pretty much now that you're here, all you have to do is you just have to go to the search button here, and you just have to write Google Maps. And the first one that comes up, it says Google Maps search to contact data. So all you have to do is click use this flow. And then once you're here, it'll ask you to put a link. So what you need to do, if you go on Google Maps and you're trying to find the businesses in your local area, just search, say if you're working with MedSpas, just write MedSpas in Portland, right? I'm not actually from Portland, but I'm just doing this for the example. And then if you write that, then all of these businesses will come up, and make sure you're on the Google Maps page where you can see the map and everything. So within Portland, for example, all of these auto detailing shops are here, and it shows that on the map itself, right? So all you need to do once you're here is you just need to copy this link, right? And then you just come back to Phantom Buster and you hit paste, and then you just do save. Cool. And then it says number of results to scrape per search. So then you just go ahead and click save. And then here's the data pieces that you can scrape. So there's email address. Do we need Facebook page? Yeah, Facebook page, Instagram, and then we can do phone numbers. So then it'll ask the country format. So Portland's in the US, so we can just do United States. But if the other country's here, you can just go ahead and click that. But yeah, if you guys do need anything else here, such as LinkedIn or YouTube, if you're doing outreach via LinkedIn or something like that, then you can go ahead and select it. But for me. I think this is the stuff. This is the stuff that's useful. But yeah, we can just click save, and then yeah, you're gonna come to this page. All you need to do is hit enable flow right here, and then now that's enabled. Cool. So it'll just be updating for a while. I think it might take 10 to 20 minutes, but yeah, it's just going to collect all of those leads. It's just going to scrape all the information that you need and it'll put it in a Google Sheets. So that will be our lead list. Of course, we're just going to format it a little bit. I'll give you guys a lead tracker. We're going to get into that in a bit, but we can just kind of format it so it looks a bit nicer and more readable. But yeah, that's how we're going to be scraping all of our leads. But yeah, I'm just going to come back to this once it's done just to show you guys how that looks. All right, so just a little while later, the lead list is done. So I actually shortened down the amount of leads to just 30 because if I did 120, it would take probably above 30 minutes actually. So I didn't want to wait that long. Even 30 leads actually took a little while. It took like 10 minutes, I'd say. So yeah, if you're doing 120, it's going to take a while, but it's so convenient. Of course, a lot of time is saved as well. So yeah, if you guys can just quickly look over it. So it'll show the business name, their website, the phone numbers, the emails, the Facebook, and the Instagram URLs as we requested. And just note that some of the times it might not work. For instance, like these type of websites, if I go on their website, I'm sure that even for me, it'd be hard to find their email or Facebook or Instagram. It's probably not linked. So that's why this software isn't able to detect it as well. But yeah, otherwise for now, what we can do, we can just click download CSV, and we're actually going to come back to this once we create our outreach trackers because it's in line with that. So for now, we're just going to click download CSV, and then we'll come back to it later. All right, so back to the Figma board here. I'm just going to go ahead and cross off lead list as completed. Once again, we're going to come back and actually use the CSV file that we downloaded, and we're going to create a properly formatted outreach tracker based on that. But for now, I'm just going to mark it as green. So anyways, the next step here is scripts. So for the scripts, I've actually gone ahead and I've created a document. Once again, I'm going to be including this within the Google Drive folder if there is anyone else that wants to access the material within it. But yeah, we'll just go ahead and quickly review this document. It includes scripts for cold calling, also cold emailing, and then cold messaging. So as I mentioned earlier, my outreach strategy is going to be Instagram DMs and then also cold calls. It's like a combined strategy. So yeah, we can just go ahead and review the whole strategy here. So it starts off with cold DMs. So I'm going to go a bit backwards. This is near the bottom of the document, but the cold DM script, how I'm going to be doing this is actually inspired by Joel Kaplan's outreach scripts as well. So anyways, it starts off with saying, hey, is this a good place for questions? And then, if you get a positive response, you just want to say, awesome. Well, I know you guys get messages like this all the time, but I've noticed your business isn't currently running any advertising. And then I just go ahead and say, would you be open to the idea of my team handling your advertising entirely for free? My brand is new to the niche, so I'm just looking to establish some connections and stand out from the crowd by offering my services for free without any strings attached. And then just let me know if you'd be interested. And then I've actually used this script and I've noticed a lot of times it has brought on some great results. So it's definitely something that works. And then, based on that, if you get a positive response as well, then step 2 is just to give them a call. All right, so for the intro call, I've just written this really briefly. I probably will end up updating it before I uploaded it on the Google folder. But the intention here is just to kind of give them a call, get that introduction done so they've heard your voice, they know who you are, they know you're not a scam. And then, the intention here is to just book the meeting. I know some people use this call to end up asking a lot of questions and just do the whole onboarding thing there. But for me, I would want to set up that next meeting and just get that in the calendar. But yeah, it's pretty much it's very short. Something like, hi, is this George? Hey, George, this is Addy. We're just talking on Instagram about potentially working together with some marketing stuff. And then they'll be like, oh, yeah, whatnot. And then you just have to say something like, perfect. So I've gotten a lot of responses about the free marketing offer. But of course, I can't really work with everyone. So if right now works for you, we can just use this call to discuss briefly, answer some questions, and then set up a quick virtual meeting to further discuss. How does that sound? Of course, I just kind of wrote that right now, so it's not perfect, but I probably will end up updating that a little bit before I do the final upload. So yeah, anyways, that's the whole script for the cold DMs. This is what I've been using, and I'm actually going to show you guys that this does work, because when I used to see videos about people using this type of stuff, for me, I just used to be so skeptical about it, and I had my doubts, and I'm like, there's no way this actually works. But then I started using it, and I saw some great results. So people were actually receptive from these type of scripts. So I actually will go ahead and show you guys some of my results eventually. But yeah, for now, I just want to quickly review these scripts. So yeah, cold DMs. But now we can go ahead and review the cold call script. So as I was telling you guys earlier, a lot of the leads won't actually end up even seeing your message. As of right now, I haven't picked up the phone and I haven't reached out to them, but that's something I know I'm going to have to do. I have done cold calls before, but yeah, in terms of the whole automotive niche, I haven't really done any. So I've written out some scripts. So, anyways, version one is the free trial. This is the one that I'm going to be utilizing right now. So, for instance, reach gatekeeper. They're going to be like, so you're just going to be like, hi there. I was just wondering if I could briefly speak to the business owner, whatever their name is. And they're always probably going to be like, what is this regarding? They won't just hand it over. And then for me, what I usually just say is, it was just a personal inquiry that I had. I sent a quick email last week and just wanted to discuss something, discuss that with him or her. And then from my experience, they usually transfer that over. Anyways, once you reach the owner, I have two options here. I know you guys have probably seen this all over YouTube from, guys like Thomas Gonnet, or even that, there's all sorts of people. But it seems like everyone in SMMA uses this script right now. So, anyways, it's hi, how's it going? And then you're gonna be like, great to hear. So I'm gonna be completely honest with you, or I'm gonna be completely transparent here. This is a cold call. However, I don't have anything to sell your business today, but I do have a service that I would like to offer entirely for free. Did you have 30 seconds to discuss, or would you like me to end the call now? So yeah, I know you guys have heard this before, but I have thrown that on there. I have used that myself, and it does work. But the one that I've been using a lot more is this one, where it's like, hi, whatever their name is, how's it going? And then you just want to say, so, whatever their name is, once again. I'm just going to keep this very short because I know you have a busy schedule. The reason I'm calling is because for the next 2 weeks, I'm actually working with some, whatever the niche is. So, for instance, if you're working with MedSpas, I'm working with some MedSpas in the local area to run their marketing entirely for free. My brand is new to the niche, so I'm just looking to establish some connections and stand out from the crowd by doing this. I was wondering if I could have 30 seconds of your time to discuss the details. So that's the one that I was using, and I saw some great results with it. Um, so yeah, but I did do that before, not in the automotive niche. So yeah, this is something I probably want to try out. Anyways, if you get a positive response, it's probably going to look like this. So awesome. Well, I've noticed that your company isn't currently running any advertising, so that's why I'm actually giving you guys a ring. I wanted to personally ask you if you would be open to my team handling your advertising entirely for free. I just realized that this is more catered to option two, because here it would actually have to be adjusted because I already say that I am doing it for free. Anyways, yeah, I'll adjust all of that before uploading it. So yeah, anyways, my brand is new to the niche, all of that same stuff. Is this something that you'd be interested in? And then, all right, so what we can do, and if you're okay with it, I can set up a quick virtual meeting where we discuss everything in detail. Does that sound okay? And then from there, if you can provide me with the time and email, I can go ahead and send the confirmation right over. You just want to do it really quickly once you get a positive response. And then, yeah, it was amazing speaking with you. I'll talk to you very soon. Thanks. If you get a rejection, what I usually do is no worries at all. I totally understand that you have a busy schedule. But do you mind if I send you a quick email that just briefly outlines about our agency and what we do, just so you could keep us in mind if you ever need? And then most of the time they'll give you an email. So just to have that lead, you never know if something works out long term. So yeah, you guys can take a look at the paid services script as well if that's something that you need. It's all very similar. It's around the same concept. And then yeah, I've done some emails in the past as well, and I've created some different scripts. This was for an entirely different business model. Actually, I have adjusted it here, but I just kind of created some of these and I've added it to this script. Um, Anyways, so yeah, this is all stuff that you guys can take a look at. I'm not really doing the whole cold email thing right now, so I don't want to really review it too much. But yeah, once again, this document, if you guys just click the Google Drive link within the description, you're going to be able to find all of these resources below. And yeah, it's all going to be uploaded just in that link. All right, so I did just want to show you guys a conversation that I've had with one of these business owners where I'm using this script just to pretty much show that it does work, because when I was watching these type of videos where other influencers and agency guys were using these scripts, I'm just like, there's no way that actually works, right? But yeah, just using it, I've noticed some great results. So for instance, hi, is this a good place to ask questions? Hey, sure. So I just said the same thing that I've written out in terms of the script. Awesome. Well, I know you guys get messages like this all the time, but I've noticed that your shop isn't currently running any advertising. Would you be open to the idea of my team handling your advertising entirely for free? My brand is new to the niche, so I'm just looking to establish some connections and stand out from the crowd by offering my services for free without any strings attached. Let me know if you'd be interested. Exactly what I've written in the scripts document. And then, what's interesting here is because I got a message that said, thanks for this opportunity, but I'll have to pass for now. I appreciate your understanding. Best of luck to you. So it was a positive response still. He didn't come at me in a negative way. He didn't say, no, I'm not interested. So I said, really appreciate the response. Let me know if you'd be open to a quick call this week. I'm based in Vancouver, and I realize you must get sales messages all the time, but the offer is genuinely free, and I would love to work together to grow our businesses. But I totally understand if you're not. Thanks for your time. So I just laid that out. What do you have to lose at that point, right? So might as well just send a message like that. And then he came back and said, "Yeah, I do get messages from people about this, but not from Vancouver. I've run ads before, just not running any at the moment. Let me think about it. I'll get back to you by this week." And then we went. There was some back and forth. You know, I gave him a call. He said he wasn't interested actually. So then I kind of just said thanks for the message, and then I told him I would send him an email as I did in the script. And then he said sounds good. And then what's interesting is like about a week later or something like that, he's like, "Hey man, are you free today afternoon for a chat?" And then it just kind of went on and on. But yeah, that's the point. The point here is just to show you guys that these scripts do work. I've used this, and it's also worked for with a couple different people as well. So yeah, I just kind of recorded that just to show you guys that the scripts do work. All right, so coming back to the Figma board, I'm just gonna go ahead and cross off the script section. We can mark that as green. It's completed, so I know what my outreach method is. I know, so I've created my lead list and I have created my scripts. So all of that is done. I know what I'm going to be using there. The last thing that I need to do is I need to create an outreach tracker. So the purpose of the outreach tracker is to pretty much document um, all of the outreach that you're doing. It pretty much shows you all of the leads that are open, all of the leads that are dead. If someone doesn't respond, you can record that. If someone just gives you like a negative response, they're not interested, you could record that as well. So it just shows you all of the leads that you need to cater to, all of the leads that you should just throw away. Pretty much, it's super effective. That's pretty much what I'm going to be using to track all of my progress. So yeah, I've created an outreach tracker that's going to be available within the description as well, but I can just go ahead and show you guys how that looks. All right, so this is the outreach tracker that I'm going to be using to track all of my progress and just record all the statuses with the leads. So of course it's going to be different for everyone. You guys can tweak this according to whatever you need. For in my case, there's a couple different type of categories that I need. For some of you guys, it's going to be different. But for me, I need to know their company name, their email address, their phone number. Immediately, I won't be using this stuff, but it's just good to have, even for you guys. Of course, their website, and then the DM platform. And then, within the DM platform, I'll just go ahead and if I write Instagram, then I'll just hyperlink that. So it just takes me right to the Instagram page, right? Because you want their Instagram linked. So you always have access to it. You just want to have notes as well. And then you just want to have the dates pretty much. So message number one, that's if say I sent a message January 1st, and you get a positive response, you can go ahead and you can mark that as yellow. If they didn't reply, I usually just mark that as this bluish color. And then if say they're not interested or you get like a negative response or something, you can just go ahead and mark it as red. But once again, you need to really track this closely, adjust it to whatever you need, and just kind of look at the dates and every like week, just look at it and then say, hey, I need to go ahead and follow up with this business, and then you can just write the follow up date number 2 right here, And then I just have some categories for the calls. For instance, if, as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to be sending Instagram DMs, but then after that, I'm going to be giving them a call. So pretty much I can go ahead and record that right here as well. So yeah, of course, you guys can go ahead and adjust this based on your needs. But yeah, this is the outreach tracker that I'm going to be using for my agency and to track all of the progress. All right, and the last thing that I wanted to show here related to the trackers is in Phantom Buster, we extracted a whole lead list. So that's pretty much going to be our primary list, right? Because that has all the information that we need, the business names, their emails, their social profiles. So what we want to do is we click download CSV earlier on Phantom Buster, but we want to go ahead and import that within Google Sheets. So you just want to click File, Import, and then you can go on Upload, and then under Browse, you can just go ahead and select the file and just click Upload here. And then you can just do Insert New Sheet, Import Data, and then everything will pretty much come here. So yeah, as you guys can see, we extracted 31, I guess, 31 leads. Of course, I think you guys can do a maximum of 120. I think there's ways to even get more than that. But what you can do here, based on everything that you've gotten, you can use all of this information and pretty much use this tracker outline and format it according to that. So it's going to be more neat. Of course, you don't want to have a messy Google Sheets, and that looks like this, right? Because then it'll just get confusing. So pretty much just use all this information and format it correctly. So it gives you the name, the URLs. It gives you the Google ratings as well. Also the review count, which actually helps when you're, looking at these leads because you know which one's more established. The category, the address, the phone numbers, their email, their Facebook URLs, and also Instagram. So yeah, it's a pretty useful tool. Just in a couple minutes, we've gotten all this information without having to manually go on Google and search everything and then put it in the lead list, which it would take hours and hours on end. So yeah, anyways, that's pretty much how that's done. That's the entire process for creating these trackers. Cool. So we're back to the Figma board once again. I'm just going to go ahead and cross off the outreach tracker as completed. So yeah, in the outreach plan, it seems like we've completed everything. So we figured out our outreach method. We created a lead list. We went over some scripts, and then we created an outreach tracker and also imported the lead list into the outreach tracker as well. So yeah, a couple things have been done here. I think that's all that I'm going to be reviewing today. So it was a bit heavy, of course, in terms of material. I don't want to move too fast as well, because the whole section on client acquisition, it's definitely going to be heavier than it was in foundations planning. So I don't want to move through it too quick. I just want to go over everything, keep it simple. In that way, I feel like it'll just flow better. But yeah, in the next episode, we'll go over the whole sales meeting preparation and the onboarding stuff. But as of right now, I think I'm just going to keep it at that. But yeah, once again, thanks for watching. I'm hoping that this stuff did help out anyone else that's getting started with their agency. But yeah, I'm also going to be linking the Google Drive folder with all of the resources. So you guys can stay on the lookout for that. So yeah, that's all for today's video. Thanks once again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.